Yo guys, what is up? Max and our Lords of the Fallen video, and today I just want to do a quick showcase of endgame pyromancy. I know a lot of players are picking up the game right now and trying to decide on what they want to play. I have beaten the game. I have over 50 hours in it right now, and I just wanted to show you pyromancy because it's pretty freaking awesome in this game. The big downside to pyromancy, and if you want to go for the Inferno stat / the Cultist starting class, you just don't get very many cool things. When you're picking pyromancy to start out, you kind of have to wait the longest out of any of the classes to really get going, in my opinion, but it pays off in the end. And so I just want to use this video to show you guys some of the cool things that a pyromancer can do. I will have my full build guide out after this, but this is just more of a showcase video. Let's get right into it. So the very first thing I wanted to show is the Fallen Lord sword. Now this is the best Inferno weapon that I've found with a rank 30 requirement of Inferno. I only have this at a +6 right now. I just swapped to pyromancy from my strength build, and this thing is ridiculous, mainly because it's 300 ignite buildup. Now what ignite does is when you hit an enemy, you can build up ignite on them, and as you can see, I'm currently with my build igniting them on my very first hit, and then when they die, they explode in fire, which is great for AoE, but all of my subsequent hits cause explosions on them. So this is a starting area. I just wanted to be in the starting area for this, but when you're hitting enemies that are harder and they're surrounded by other enemies, every hit that you do constantly does these like fire explosions, and it's really good for mobbing, better than things that my strength build were doing for mobbing. Now let's get into some actual showcases stuff. One other thing, the Shield of Thunder. It doesn't really matter what shield you use, but you do want to use a shield as a pyromancer just because you can socket runes in them, which will give you mana regen. So I do have a little bit of just passive mana regen right now, which is really cool. And once again, I do not have all the pyromancies in this game. I've only 50 hours in this game, and this game has like over or close to 200 weapons, and I probably have like 60 or 70 of them. So this is not all the pyromancies, just the ones that I have after I've beaten the game and explored as much as I could. So to start us off, we've got the Pyroclastic Stone. This is a really cool one. It can be a little bit difficult to hit enemies with, because it is a bouncing projectile. So like, as you'll see on this guy, I'm probably just not going to be able to hit him. Yeah, so just no shot at hitting him. But the explosion that it does is massive, as you just saw there. You can use this as a close range spell to do a bunch of damage. And if you're like in a position like this that I'm at right now, see if we can lock onto this guy, just show you this. Let's see if we get lucky and get a bounce. Boom, that group. Like, that's awesome. Okay, so that's our first one. That's Pyroclastic Stone. Then we've got a Deer's Revenge. This is a late game one. It's a shout sorcery. Basically, when we do it, it's going to cause enemies that we kill to explode. Someone is literally invading me right now. So now if I kill this guy, basically, he's going to explode just like that. Okay, I take care of that invader real quick. Pyromancy is actually pretty good for PvP if they don't know it's coming, because you can get those like secondary hits on them and explode them. So hopefully we don't have any more intrusions for this video. But a Deer's Revenge makes enemies explode. Then we get Magma Surge. This is one of my favorites. This is actually a Magma Surge that I casted from that PvP battle. Magma Surge just stays on the ground. This is, in my opinion, one of the strongest. It does an explosion, and it leaves this burning. Now, this burning damage on the ground does a constant tick, so if someone's standing in it, they're going to take damage. But on top of that, they can get lit on fire, and then they're taking double dots at the same time. Obviously, in PvP, people are not going to stand in this, but you can put this on a boss or an enemy and cast it, and then just kind of kite them around, and the AI will just stand in this, and they will melt. That is probably one of my favorites of all of these that I've used. Next up, we've got Flame Funnel. Look how long this is up for. Like, it's still here. That's why that is just a top tier pyromancy. And then we've got Flame Funnel. Let's see if I can grab some enemies to use this on. A lot of these enemies died in that PvP fight. Also, all of a sudden, we are heavy rolling for some reason. This is Flame Funnel. Let's get in the middle here, see if we can get it off, and then boom, we just light everything on fire. This is a channel sorcery, and anything that gets close to me is just gonna get lit up. Obviously, ranged enemies can still hit you, but that one is very cool. Against enemies that you don't have enough damage to, they will just walk towards you and hit you and knock you out of that. So it's more of a like trash mob killer spell than anything, but it's probably one of the bigger AoE ones. And speaking of bigger AoE, well, actually, technically not Infernal Eruption. This is probably my least favorite. You get this one from a boss. I don't want to say which one, but you basically can just spew magma out. It's a channeled one, very short range, pretty mediocre in my opinion. But if an enemy will stand in it long enough, like it's hitting 170 a tick there, so like the damage is pretty good. It's just things will come and hit you while you're doing that. All right, let's get into some more. I get into some really cool ones. By the way, I'm doing this in an early area, one, to not spoil any later areas, and two, because I just switched to Pyromancer, so my like catalyst is only a +4. So I really just don't have like that much damage on it to bring to like a super endgame area. But this Pyromancy is your like bread and butter basic attack. You pull out these 2 blades. It's super fast. It'll catch people off guard for PvP. I'm getting staggered out of it right now. But boom, slash. Pretty cool. And then the advanced version of that will actually send out basically a projectile with it. So we'll go do this one. Boom, projectile that also does wither damage. Also pretty quick and does that little explosion. That is the Severing Blades, and the first one was Infernal Slash. Then we've got Infernal Guardian. Let's pull this one up. This one's a pretty high mana cost, but it summons this thing that will basically fight alongside you, and it stays with you. It's a companion, and you can just go about doing your thing, and whatever enemy you lock onto, it'll just launch fireballs at, which is awesome. And lastly, we've got the Big Juice. This is Infernal Decree. It can be a lot of damage, but it can be hard to get enemies actually standing in it because it doesn't seem to cast very close to you. But it'll rain down these like Hellfire swords, and then you can just drag enemies through them, and it'll do damage there. But the actual like close range of it and the targeting of it just seems to be a little off. As you can see, I casted it right on that enemy, and it just didn't really go to him. Let's see if I can get a cast on this guy. Pretty low mana cost for like how cool this effect is. As you can see, like this Infernal is only 39 mana cost versus something like the Infernal Slash, which was just our like basic attack. That is also has the same mana cost as that massive like AoE fire ability. I do want to quickly just show off how this Fallen Lord sword works in like kind of like a harder enemy area. This is one of the later areas of the game. And as you can see, like these guys are just gonna chain explosions to each other where they're just like kind of knocking each other around, and this guy just can't fight back because he's constantly getting these explosions. While the like pyromancy spells are all cool, they're good. Where I think you're really gonna get a lot of your sauce from is, at least from what I've been experiencing, is this weapon. It is probably one of the stronger weapons I've used, if not the strongest weapon. The mods that I'm using on it give it double the burn buildup, which is, as you can see, like we're rocking burn just constantly and getting all those like fire explosions, which is really great for mobbing, but it also does single target. You don't need ads around because it'll proc the damage on a single target. So yeah, guys, that was a quick little Pyromancer showcase. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch y'all in the next one. Stay tuned for my full build guide where I'll go over where to get all of this stuff, and like starting Pyromancer weapons, not just this like late game one. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.